Okay, so for the color grade, there's a bunch of different ways to do it. This is just what works for me. So what I'll do is I'll open my layers. I'll name them all and I'll set them all in the respective blending modes. So this one, I'm gonna make contrast. I'm gonna set it to a luminosity blending mode because I don't want it affecting color or anything else. This hue saturation layer, I'm gonna set to color because I don't want it affecting contrast or luminosity. And the same thing with this color layer. So first I'm gonna adjust the contrast, and this is already a pretty contrasty image, but the garage that we're in shooting is filled with haze, so I wanna cut down on that just a little bit. There we go. That looks pretty good. And I'm noticing the colors are a little bit too saturated. I kind of like a muted look to my colors. So I'm gonna pull the saturation down by about 20. The reds are still a little bit hot, so I'm gonna pull them down by about 9, maybe 10. All right. And so for the color, I'm going to go into the RGB channels. I'm going to go into each one individually. So I'm going to select the red, and I kind of want the reds just barely above the center line here. And just to cut back on this overall red in the image, I'm going to pull some cyan into it, which is the opposite of red. There we go. A little cyan into the image. I'm going to warm up the whole thing with a little bit of yellow. All right. Give it kind of a green cast. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the green channel, and I'm going to pull a little bit of magenta just to cut back on the green. So before and after. Very, very subtle. There we go. Make sure I check everything. Okay, that looks pretty good. And so I'm going to group this up, Command G. I'm going to name it color, and then we can turn everything on and off to see how it looks. All right, so that looks pretty good for the color grade. That's honestly all I do. So next up, we're just going to do the final touches.